I'm 81 years old. I know what day it is, what year it is, and exactly where I went wrong. My mind is perfectly clear. That's the cruelest part of getting old. The clarity arrives right on schedule, just a few decades too late. I spent 40 years building a career. I have a plaque in a box in my garage. It says, Vice President of Marketing. Nobody is asked to see it, not once. Here's what I want to tell you, and I need you to really hear this, because I'm not sure I have the time or the patience to sugarcoat it. The life you're postponing, it's not waiting for you. It's leaving without you, every single day. I want to tell you about Marcus. Marcus Webb and I grew up on the same street in Columbus, Ohio. We were inseparable from the age of 7, the kind of friends where you don't knock, you just walk in. His mother knew my lunch order. I knew his. We both got into Ohio State. Marcus studied music. I studied business. I remember thinking, not unkindly, I told myself that Marcus wasn't being realistic, that he was making a romantic choice, a soft choice. He was going to teach high school kids to play instruments for the rest of his life, while I was going to build something. And I did build something. I made VP at 38. Corner office by 42. I drove a car that cost more than Marcus's annual salary. I had the right watches, the right suits, the right title on the business card. I remember running into Marcus at a reunion when we were both around 50. He looked the same, easy in his skin. He talked about his students the way people talk about their children. His eyes were lit up. I talked about a campaign I'd just won, a big account. Marcus nodded politely. I think I talked for 20 minutes without asking him a single question about his life. Marcus died on a Sunday morning in October, 4 years ago. He was 74 years old. He was tending his garden tomatoes, I'm told, and some kind of climbing vine he'd been nurturing for years. He had a stroke and was gone before the ambulance arrived. He died with his hands in the dirt, in the morning sun, doing exactly what he loved. I flew in for the funeral. I expected a modest service, a few colleagues, maybe some former students. The church held 400 people. It was standing room only. Former students were weeping in the aisles. 3 different people played music they'd learned from Marcus. Someone said he taught for 38 years and never once complained about Monday morning. I sat in that pew and I did the math. Marcus made less money in his entire career than I made in 4 years. And somehow, he had accumulated more of everything that actually matters. I drove home from that funeral and I sat in my car in the driveway for a long time. I had more than Marcus had ever had, and he had more life than I'd ever lived. I've had 4 years to think about Marcus, about what he knew that I didn't, and I think I finally understand it. We're all running towards something, a salary, a title, a number in an account, a version of ourselves that will finally feel like enough. And we tell ourselves the same lie over and over in slightly different words. I'll slow down when. I'll be present when. I'll take the trip when. I'll call him when. I'll tell her when. When is a thief. It will rob you blind while you're making plans. I remember a colleague of mine, a man named Richard, senior partner, sharp as anyone I've ever met, who used to say, Harold, I'm going to take 6 months off when the Hartley account closes. The Hartley account closed. Then it was when the merger went through. Then it was when his youngest finished college. Richard died at 69. He never took the 6 months. He never even took a week. His family said he was happy. I don't think Richard knew what happy felt like. I think he knew what productive felt like. And he mistook them for the same thing. That's the trap, right there. We have confused movement with meaning. We have confused being busy with being alive. I look at young people today, and I say this not with judgment, but with something close to grief. I see them staring at their phones at dinner. I see them answering emails at their children's recitals. I see them optimizing their mornings and tracking their productivity and listening to podcasts about how to get more done. And I want to grab them by the shoulders and say, more done of what? Toward what? For whom? The hustle culture you're swimming in right now, it has one setting, forward. It does not have a setting for here, for enough, for this is already the thing I was looking for. I made partner. I remember the day. I had a glass of champagne in my office at 7 in the evening, alone, because my team had gone home and my wife had stopped waiting up. I finished the glass, washed it in the little sink in my office, went back to my desk. By 9 I was answering emails. The arrival did not feel like I thought it was going to feel. It never does. There is always another arrival just ahead of this one. There was a woman in my department, young, 29, brilliant, named Claire. She used to say, "I'll travel when I'm done building the foundation." She was diagnosed with MS at 34. She's still here, still working, still saying when. I think about Claire a lot. I think about how long she's been waiting for her real life to start. Marcus never waited. That's what I understand now. Marcus had a Tuesday in October when he was 42, and he filled it completely, not because he had nothing to strive for, but because he had figured out somehow, early, before the damage was done, that a Tuesday in October is the only Tuesday in October you will ever have. And if you spend it rushing toward next week, you have simply wasted a Tuesday in October. Multiply that by decades, and you've wasted something that can't be named. You will never be given back your time. Do you understand that? Truly understand it. Not intellectually, I mean in your body, in your gut, in the place that makes decisions. Your time is leaving right now, this minute, while you watch this video. The question isn't whether it's going. The question is what you've traded it for. I'm not telling you not to be ambitious. Marcus was ambitious. He was ambitious about his students. He was ambitious about growing tomatoes. He was ambitious about being someone his wife was happy to come home to. Ambition isn't the disease. Misplaced ambition is the disease. Ambition pointed at the wrong things, in the service of the wrong life. Ask yourself honestly, when no one is watching, whose life are you actually building? The life you want, or the life that looks right from the outside? The life that satisfies you, or the life that impresses people you don't even like? I need to tell you about the moment I think about the most. My son Daniel was 12 years old. It was a Saturday afternoon, a Saturday. I had no reason to be working, but I was at my desk in the study, door half closed, on a call that had already run 2 hours. Daniel knocked. I held up one finger without looking up. He waited. I kept going. He knocked again. I covered the mouthpiece and said, "Daniel, I'm on a call. Give me 20 minutes. He stood in the doorway for a moment. I was already looking back at my notes. He said, "Dad, do you even like us? Because you're never here." 11 words. He was 12 years old, and then he walked away. I finished the call. I told myself I'd talk to him at dinner. At dinner he was quiet and I was distracted, and I told myself I'd talk to him after. I had emails. I meant to bring it up the next morning. I didn't. A week passed, a month. The moment calcified into silence and I let it, because addressing it would have meant admitting what it revealed about me. Daniel is 43 now. We have a good relationship, we do. I want you to know that, because I did eventually wake up, eventually. But I think about that 12-year-old boy standing in that doorway with his father holding up one finger. I think about the version of Daniel who needed me that Saturday afternoon and watched me choose a phone call instead. Those years are gone. There is no account I could have built, no title I could have earned that was worth more than being fully present for that boy. No amount of money buys that afternoon back. Not $1. Here is what I know. At 81, with more time behind me than ahead of me. The life you are postponing is the only life you get. Not a rehearsal life, not the appetizer, not the foundation for the real thing. This, right now, today, the people in your house, the Tuesday in October, you're standing in, this is it. This is the whole thing. Marcus understood that. I didn't. Marcus is gone and I'm the one still here, and I would trade every plaque in every box in my garage to sit across from him one more time and tell him that he was right and that I was the fool, and that I finally understand what he was doing all those years. I thought he wasn't building anything. He was building a life, I was building a resume. And in the end, in the real end, when you're 81 and sitting in a garden talking to someone who isn't there anymore, those are not the same thing. I'm not lecturing you. I want to be very clear about that. I'm warning you, because I was you. I was exactly you, smart, capable, certain I knew what I was doing, certain the sacrifices were temporary, certain the real life was just around the next corner. So let me ask you something, and I want you to sit with it. What are you postponing right now? What have you been meaning to do, call, visit, say, start, stop, try, that you keep filing under soon? You are telling yourself a story. I know, because I told myself the same one for decades. The story goes, I'll be fully present when things calm down. I'll take the trip when the timing is better. I'll have the conversation when I'm ready. I'll slow down when I've made it. Things don't calm down. The timing doesn't get better. You don't get ready. You don't make it, not in the way you mean. Not in the way that makes it feel safe to finally start living. Today, not next month, not after the promotion, not when the kids are older today. Call the person you've been meaning to call. Say the thing you've been meaning to say. Book the trip. Take the walk. Sit at the table without your phone and look at the people across from you and understand that they are the point. They have always been the point. You have something I don't have anymore. You have time to do something with this. I'm 81 years old. My time for course corrections is limited. Yours is not, but it is not unlimited. It is not unlimited. I have a garden now. Nothing fancy tomatoes, mostly. Some climbing vine I don't know the name of that showed up on its own, and I decided to let it stay. I talk to Marcus sometimes while I'm out there in the morning. I tell him he was right. I figure he already knew. I hope you don't wait as long as I did to figure this out. Go tend your garden.